It's happening again. Every time people figure out how to make money without permission, something suddenly becomes a problem. Suddenly, the rules change. And this time, it's inauthentic content. YouTube just rolled out its latest crackdown, dressed up, of course, in clean corporate language, fighting inauthentic content, protecting originality, preserving creator integrity. Sounds noble, but it isn't. Because if you actually read what they're targeting, it sounds reasonable. Reading content you didn't write, recycled or mass-produced videos, low-effort slideshows, template content. On paper, sure, nobody's defending spam farms. But here's the problem, and this is where everything breaks. That's not who's getting hit. Channels with real audiences, real commentary, real engagement are getting demonetized anyway. So either YouTube can't tell the difference between spam and actual creators, or that distinction isn't the point. And if you've been paying attention, not just to YouTube, but to everything, you already know which one it is. Every single time people figure out how to make money outside the system, it gets labeled as a problem. Uber is exploitative. DoorDash is unsustainable. Stock trading, dangerous for retail investors. YouTube, now suddenly full of inauthentic content. Funny how that one works. Nobody cares when massive corporations automate, outsource, and scale infinitely. But the second individuals do it, now it's low quality, now it's harmful, now it needs to be controlled. And here's where the AI excuse comes in, because AI is the perfect cover story. It's vague, it's scary, and most importantly, it's unverifiable at scale. So you can quietly widen the definition of inauthentic until it includes basically anything you want. Not just spam, not just plagiarism, but content that's too efficient, too scalable, too independent. Because here's what's really happening. They're not just changing the rules, they're changing the language. Inauthentic, low quality, protecting creators. Words that sound neutral, even positive. But in practice, they can be stretched to mean whatever the system needs them to mean. And if that sounds familiar, it should. Because that's straight out of 1984, where control doesn't start with force, it starts with redefining the words. And the question we should really be asking ourselves is, why now? Let's be honest about what YouTube actually wants. They don't want creators who can produce at volume. They don't want systems. They don't want leverage. They want dependence. They want you slow. They want you manual. They want you grinding, because a creator who can scale without them is a creator they can't control. This is nothing new. This is the same pattern everywhere. I'm beating a dead horse here, but you were told to go to college or you'd fail. And you did. Now you're overqualified. You try to work anyway, and now you're a flight risk. You find side income. Now it's not sustainable. You invest. Now you're manipulating markets. And now you create content, and suddenly you're inauthentic. At some point, you have to stop pretending these are isolated incidents. This is a system that rewards dependence and punishes autonomy, because autonomy is unpredictable, and unpredictable people don't stay in line. Even if YouTube thinks they're targeting AI spam, the effect is the same. You shrink the middle class of creators, you make monetization harder, you increase uncertainty, and you push more people back toward traditional, controlled income streams. Whether that's the intention or not, that's the result. And that's why this backlash isn't going away, because creators aren't stupid. They can see the gap between the policy and the enforcement. They can see who's actually getting hit, and more importantly, they can feel it. So no, this isn't just about AI. It's not about AI whatsoever. It's about control. It's about who gets to earn and who has to ask for permission. Because every time people find a way out, the system doesn't fix itself. It closes the door. Why now? Why this moment? When more people than ever are turning to YouTube for income? Why now? When traditional jobs are getting less stable, not more? Why now? When technology finally gave individuals leverage? Because timing isn't random. It never is.